Shipra. Today, good evening all. Today's topic is how to increase grades and marks. So how many of you are facing difficulties with this issue? Do anyone have problem with memorizing the things or increasing your grades or uh, increasing your marks, increasing your concentration? Do anyone have any issues with this? Um, what language do you prefer? English or Telugu? Can I get some responses from you? Okay. Okay, basically today I am going to help. Is my screen visible to you all? Am I able to share my presentation? Can someone help me out? Thank you. Can someone tell me, am I able to show my presentation? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. So basically today we are going to discuss about effective study techniques used by best students for effective learning. So it is not about the best students or worst students. It's about how to increase your grades, how to increase your memory basically. So let me start with a good quote. Let me start with a good quote. Education is the passport to the future. So whatever you do in these years, in these early years of your education is going to decide your entire life. What you are going to face in your future, what you are going to face in your further life is completely decided by what you study and how you study. There is a saying, 20 years of your life is equal to 20 years of your hard work is equal to 80 years of your happy life. Whatever you achieve in your 20 years of life, how much hard work you put in your 20 years of life is going to make you feel in rest of 80 years. For suppose you're into a good college, you're scoring good marks, you're going into good universities, you're getting good campus interviews, and you're into a good institution before you're 25 years, and rest of your life is very happy because you start your life with just a starting package of 12 lakhs, then you're going to enjoy your life very well. If you are starting your life with a package of 30,000, you're going to actually fight to reach the heights in your life. So all this is decided basically on your grades and marks. Correct me if I am wrong. Okay. So this is the quote. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. I hope all of you remember this character. I hope all of you remember this character. Is there any difference between the two slides? I hope all of you watched Gajni movie. So if you don't have good memory, you are going to forget everything. So memory is the base key for your grades and marks. గ్రేడ్స్ బాగా రావాలి అంటే మీరు చదివింది మీకు గుర్తుండాలి. బేసికల్ గా మీరు చదివింది మీకు మంచిగా గుర్తుండాలి. ఒకవేళ మీరు చదివింది మీకు గుర్తు లేకపోతే యు ఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు అచీవ్ గుడ్ మార్క్స్. లైక్ జస్ట్ లైక్ గజ్ని, మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ సెంటర్కి వెళ్ళంగానే వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫర్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ హెడ్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద బేసిక్ ఫర్ మెమరీ? ఎలా గుర్తుంటుంది మనకి? సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ద మెమరీ. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ learning. So we all today's generation, we all are into social media. We are learning through YouTube. We stopped reading books. YouTube, you just listen lectures from YouTube, you think you know everything. Go for exams. Most of the students these days, what I am seeing is doing this only. Before one day of exam, they study from online. Like they keep on listening to the lectures online. Best is physics wala for physics people, and Nunal sir lectures for commerce people. All of these lectures are being are getting good ratings. You all listen to these lectures and you go to write the exam and you forget everything. So I would like to explain you this basic structure of memory today. First is first 5%, only 5% of our learning is done by lectures or listening. If you are trying to give your exams by listening to the lectures, then it is very difficult for you to remember in a longer period. So the first 5% of listening is then continued by reading. So write down small chunks of information on the paper or important points on the paper and read them again. Then you will be able to remember 10% of what you have read. Then 20% of your listening and visual effects. 20% of the information is retained by both listening, writing, and seeing it. So this visual learning is taking a longer trend. Then 30% is by demonstrating. Like when someone is demonstrating you an example. For example, I'll give you a very good example for this demonstration. When I was in my 8th class, my physics faculty had explained me Newton's third law. I still remember it, though I am not into science these days. మీరు బస్ స్టాండ్ లో నుంచి ఒక అమ్మాయిని చూసి నవ్వడం యాక్షన్, ఆ అమ్మాయి తిరిగి మిమ్మల్ని కొట్టడం రియాక్షన్. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Thank you to my physics sir. He explained this with a demonstration or correlating with a real life event so that we didn't forget it even after 20 years of our education. So you remember things, mixing it with the real life incidents, that will help you to remember the things for a longer period. This all comes under passive learning techniques, where you are not actively participating in remembering the information you are gathering. This will help you only to remember up to 30% of the information you are reading. This is the very basic reason why you forgot the information you are reading while you are writing the examination. Next, 50 to 90% of the information is kept in your brain only through participatory learning, like explaining it to someone or completely practicing it multiple times. This will help you to remember the information for a longer duration. So why are we talking about all this? What is the necessity? So this is the necessity. How can we make studying a rewarding and enjoyable experience? So I am speaking a lot about remembering the things. You have to sit for 4 to 5 hours to do all this work. Every student, every individual who is sitting for these long period is not very interested. They feel bad, they feel sad, they feel like they are not getting good rewards and all for this. So how can we sit for a longer duration of time? This is the basic doubt for every student. Ma'am, మేము 4 గంటలు కూర్చొని ఎలా చదువుతాం మ్యామ్, మాకు ఫోన్ ఉంది, లేకపోతే మాకు ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు, మేము బయటకు వెళ్ళి ఆడుకోవాలి. How? When you are able to enjoy reading, then only you can sit for so much, that much period. So in further slides, I'll explain you how can reading be a rewarding thing. And have you ever wondered why some students excel while others are struggling? This is the second basic question for every parent or every student. Like I am studying for the same time, and why the other students are getting good ranks and grades? Why am I not getting those ranks or grades? సేమ్ స్కూల్కి వెళ్తున్నాం, సేమ్ స్కూల్కి వెళ్తున్నాము, సేమ్ కాలేజ్కి వెళ్తున్నాము, సేమ్ లెక్చరర్స్ తో టీచ్ చేయించుకుంటున్నాము, బట్ వై ఆర్ వి నాట్ గెటింగ్ గుడ్ గ్రేడ్స్ అండ్ ర్యాంక్స్? వై ఆర్ ద అదర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ గెటింగ్ గుడ్ గ్రేడ్స్ అండ్ ర్యాంక్స్? These are the basic doubts of every student. So let me explain why. So the basic difference lies in this slide.
Madam, take presentation mode.
With
PPT, take presentation mode, madam.
yes, I'm trying. So that is what. So it's buffering. Oh, I'm sorry. So the basic difference is here, how are you planning your studies? How are you planning your studies? And so the main key difference. The main difference here is time management. Time management. What is time management? How to manage time? Everyone has the same 24 hours. Every single individual has the same 24 hours. But how effectively you are using your time is the key here. So even a horse works and a donkey works, but horse get rewarded and donkey is not rewarded. Same way, if you are able to manage your time in a very good way, you will be able to get good marks and ranks. So time management, how to manage time? You don't need entire 18 hours or 20 hours to study. You study for 4 to 5 hours in a planned way, then you can get good marks. Even for UPSC, students, they suggest to read for 36 hours a week. That's it, not more than that. So how are you reading makes a difference. You have to meticulously plan your syllabus. You have to divide your syllabus into small chunks, and you have to fulfill your syllabus within the stipulated time. That is the time management. Don't read continuously 4 hours or 5 hours continuously. One subject is not going to help you. You have to break down your syllabus into small chunks, and then you have to follow your syllabus. Next is active learning. I have already told you what is active learning, right? I hope you understand what is active learning. And memory techniques, metacognitive learning, and learning environment. These are all going to help you. This active learning techniques I am going to explain you now. So this is basically our memory is basically the information we take in. Whatever you read, whatever you study is straight away going into normal sensory registration, which will be there only for few minutes. Like short-term memory, like information we are taking through sensory organs, either by visual concepts or hearing or experiencing something. That is straight away pushed into short-term memory, which is straight away pushed into medium-term memory. This short-term memory is only for 30 minutes. Like Gajni, you will forget everything if you don't repeat it again. If you repeat it again, it will be there for 1 week. Like this will be decayable. This will go out of your brain. Short-term memory and medium-term memory is going to get away from your brain. Just like you watch a video, it will stay in your head for 1 hour and then it is lost. So this is, if you want to push it into long-term memory, or if you want to keep it in your head for longer duration of time, you have to repeatedly do the same task. You have to repeatedly learn what you have learned. So how to repeat it? So let me show you a algorithm here. So this is the memory. These are the memory techniques which I am going to explain you now. And this is how you remember it, right? This is how you remember it. If you're in the first learning, you can only remember it at max up to 3 days. If you learn it again on the second, third notes, it is going to 7 to 8 days. So the more you repeat learning, the more it is going to stay in your head. Practice. Only key to remember things is to practice. Practice is not like reading it for 2 or 3 hours. When you are reading it, make it. There are some techniques which you can use to remember what you are reading. Okay. There are some tricks to remember things. Not like you read it first time giving 3 or 4 hours and then you read it for 4 hours again, 5 hours again. That is not going to help you. But when you read at the first time, you have to read it very thoroughly. Later on, you can use some techniques to memorize it again and again so that you won't forget it. So the first and the foremost concept, foremost technique we use here is reception. How you receive the information. Everyone has different way of learning. Some can learn by reading repeatedly. Some can learn by listening to it. Some can learn by seeing the videos. So you have to first identify how you can remember things for a longer period. So first thing is you have to know how I am going to remember things, and you have to use that technique again and again. Second one is chunking. As I told you, you have to break down your like syllabus into small chunks. Like for suppose, for example, for chemistry or for physics, for chemistry, it is like organic and inorganic. And organic also you have chapters. Some have good connections. Some have good. Some don't have connections with other topics. So you read all the topics which have connections at one time, and some chapters do not belong to anything. They're like solo travelers. So you have to read them separately. Same way in maths. Most of the students I had seen have problem with maths, solving problems. That can be accounts, that can be math, that can be physics. Main problem is they say, ma'am, I'm not able to solve the question. No, it's not solving the question. It is every problem has 3 stages. One, what is the information given in the question? Second, are you able to apply it to any formula? Third is, are you able to do the mathematical part or the calculation part? So first you have to find out in which part you have a problem. Then you work on that particular part, you can solve any problem. That is simple thing. So this is how you have to chunk, how you have to differentiate where the problem is lying and how I have to improve. Next is first letter technique. Most of the science students know it because all of us have studied physics, science up to 10th class. So everyone knows periodic table. I will, after 20 years also, I remember first 10 elements of the periodic table. How? With a simple trick. That is adding all the first letters uh, of the elements like Haihili, Bebo, Kone, or Phony. All the 10 elements are there in that line. So by making this kind of small synonyms and acronyms, you can remember. Next is rhyming. So rhyming words, you can make rhyming words and then visualization. You can see the things and remember. Next is keywords. If you remember keywords in any question, you can remember. You can actually write down the answer. Next is method of loci. Next, like peg words. Peg words is again a different technique. I think most of you don't know. This is like remembering things, remembering numbers with a rhyming word. Like 1 is bun, 10 is gun, like that. So you can remember numbers, you can remember numbers by adding some words to it, like rhyming words to it. These are all the memory techniques. Using these techniques, you can remember anything possible. So these are the techniques. So these are the 10 steady techniques, basically memory techniques. So which are going viral these days are mind mapping. Mind mapping is nothing but writing important points in a chain-like structure. Just I have written it like in a chain-like structure here, no? You can see, I think. Is this slides visible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So look, I have wrote the main word here and wrote all the techniques in a chain like form. This is like a map like structure. This is mind mapping. So this is the main word and I have written all the techniques in a small side headings and each side heading has an explanation. So I will not forget any of the technique in the future because when I close my eyes, I can remember this chain like structure. This is mind mapping, which is very effective technique, which can actually make you learn very quick and fast. Next is like flashcards. Flashcards is writing small chunks of the chunks of information on a paper and turning the papers whenever you have time. So next is case studies. Case studies is an applicative based learning where you actually experiment what you learned. For example, the best example for this is seeing like a centrifugal or centripetal forces by tying a stone to the rope. You just move the stone. You can understand both centripetal and centrifugal force. That is a simple experiment. That is a case study. Next is quiz. Participate in quiz which are available online. There are a lot of sites for every stream where you get quizzes for your syllabus. You try to participate in those quizzes so that you can retain information for a longer period. Next is brainstorming. Brainstorming is nothing but expanding the ideas, like connecting one piece chunk of information with another chunk of information, which will help you to actually understand what you have studied without any inhibitions. Like whatever the information you get, you actually expand the information, you read about it, you understand it, and you keep it in your mind for a longer duration. Next is organize your study. The very important concept here is organize your study. It should not be scattered. You are reading science for example, if you are reading math, you are doing one sum from one chapter and another sum from another chapter. That is not going to help you. You have to organize what you are studying. You should know what you are studying. It is not vague. Someone came and asked you to study science, you are studying science. Someone came and asked you about studying social, you are studying social. It is not like that. You should know what you have to read and how you have to read. Then only the things will work out. ఎలా అంటే అమ్మా మీరు చదువుతున్న ప్రతిదీ మీకు తెలియాలి. ఓకే, నేను ఇవాళ మ్యాథ్ లో ఈ 4 చాప్టర్స్ ఈ 4 సమ్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తాను. సో దట్ 4 different models. Then further example models you can do. You should be very thorough with what you are reading. That is organization. So you should plan what you have to read. You should create a timetable. As I told you before, divide your entire syllabus into small pieces. For example, if you are reading linear equations, give linear equations for 2 days or 3 days depending upon your strength. So you have to complete this linear equation in this 3 days. Same way for any chapter. For example, if you are reading about mass communication, you have to like all the theories one day, analysis one day, practicals one day. Like you have to break down your syllabus into small chunks. That will help you to actually understand what you are reading or what you have to complete that day. Next is drawings. This drawing is a very good technique to remember what you are reading. For science students, this will help a lot, because in science you have small diagrams where you actually draw the structure and then you name the parts, and then you can remember what the parts are doing. Same way you can make a flow charts or small diagrams like this, so that you remember what you have read. So while you're reading also, you should be very clear. When you read a textbook, always have a pencil or pen in your hand and draw small lines like this. Whatever is the information which is important in your textbook. So when you are memorizing it later on, you will read only the important points and don't waste your entire time in, like, you don't waste your time and reading entire textbook. These points are important in your textbook, you know, you read, you memorize those points only. So always hold a pencil, hold a blank paper with you when you are reading, so that you can write down important points and you can memorize them later. Or write down small points here, connected points here in the free spaces, so that whenever you memorize or open the chapter again, no need to put on lot of effort to see what is important. This is a very important way. So I had spoken about metacognition. Like, what is metacognition? నేను ఇందాక చెప్పాను metacognition. This is an advanced way, advanced skill actually developed to remember everything what we are reading, what process everything and remember everything in your mind, whatever you are reading. And so it is just like this. What say, if you look at the picture, I think you can get just seeing in your brain and checking in your brain what you have read. This is a skill actually developed for self-assessment and identifying the areas of improvement. To improvement. Just I had given an example of maths problem. Same way, if you are like some students cannot remember long answers, like lot of information. You can't remember. Then what you have to do, you have to divide that question into 2 halves. First half you read, you memorize, you write it, then go for the second half if you are not able to read the entire question at once. Same way, if you are not able to remember formulas, then make them into flashcards. So you have to first identify where you have a problem. Like, you have to monitor your learning. You have to monitor everyone knows, every student knows where is the problem. మాక్సిమం స్టూడెంట్స్ కి తెలుసమ్మా వాళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది. నేను మెమరైజ్ చేయలేకపోతున్నాను, లేకపోతే మ్యాథ్స్ లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేయలేకపోతున్నాను, లేకపోతే లాంగ్ ఆన్సర్స్ గుర్తుండట్లేదు, లాంగ్ పీరియడ్ కి గుర్తుండట్లేదు. ఎవ్రీ స్టూడెంట్ నోస్ దేర్ ఫ్లాస్. So you have to monitor your flaws. Then you have to evaluate your flaws. Like మ్యాథ్స్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ 3 halves చెప్పాను, అలాగే క్వశ్చన్స్ గుర్తుండట్లేదు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు బ్రేక్ డౌన్ దెమ్ ఇంటూ 2 parts. Then you have to plan. You are evaluating, you are knowing your gray area. Then you are evaluate, you are planning, like what, how to overcome this issue. Every student have a particular period of concentration. Some may have that period of concentration at night, some may have that concentration at day. Like everyone is different, like everyone's concentration period is different. So you have to find out the time where you are highly productive, and you have to put in your efforts in that time to your maximum, so that you can learn more in lesser period. Then you will be able to actually retain the information what you are learning. So this is very, very important. That the third most important point here is learn like planning. Learning steady environment is also very important. When you are reading, keep your mobiles away, keep your screens off. Don't think that I can concentrate on what I am reading with my mobile beside me. No, you cannot concentrate. మీ మొబైల్ ని తీసి దూరంగా పెట్టుకోండమ్మా చదువుకున్నప్పుడు. స్క్రీన్, ఎనీ స్క్రీన్, it can be movie, it can be a TV, it can be a mobile, it can be a pager, it can be a tab, it can be even a laptop connected to internet. Log out of all the social networking sites from the laptop you are reading. That will actually help to improve your concentration. Reading environment lo eppudu try to keep it tidy, try to sit at one place every day. ఎలా అయితే మీకు 1 అయితే ఆకలేస్తుంది, లైక్ లంచ్ టైంలో ఆకలేస్తుంది, నిద్రపోయే టైంకి నిద్ర వస్తుంది, అలాగే యూ కీప్ అ టైమ్ అండ్ ప్లేస్ టు రీడ్. ఆ టైంలో మీకు కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ సెట్ అవుతుంది. So that environment is also very, very important. As I told you, you have to identify your memory. How are you able to memory? So are you able to memorize things by visual effects, like reduce topics to keywords, patterns with colors and cartoons, or do something which feel based memory? What is your memory? What is the type of memory you have? Everyone has a different type of memory that will help you to remember. So at the end, మనం ఇంతసేపు మెమరీ గురించి మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. So what are the effective ways to increase your memory, or what are the effective ways to actually help you to study well, actually concentrate well? So that is be open minded. నాకు తెలుసు, no, నాకు తెలుసు అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎప్పుడైతే మైండ్ లోకి వచ్చిందో, దెన్ యు ఆర్ స్టాపింగ్ యువర్ లెర్నింగ్. Maybe you are a good student, maybe you know the topic very well, but there might be some kind of problem with it. So try to be open minded. Like most of the students get offended when their professors or teachers point out them, or their co-students, peer group point out them that you don't know this topic, even though they are scoring good marks and grades in that topic. You might be getting good marks and grades in that particular topic, but you may miss something. First, try to understand what they are speaking. So be open-minded. This will help you to reduce your inferiority complex. At the same time, this will help you to understand if you are doing any mistakes or not. Make learning meaningful. So how are you doing your learning? Are you doing mechanical learning? Are they just like ratifying the topic? Or are you actually understanding what you are learning? When you understand something and learn it, it will be in your memory for a longer period. You can retain it for a retain the information for a longer period. So try to learn the meaning. Try to understand what you're reading rather than ratifying it. Next is have the desire to practice and improve your retention. Just very, very important thing here is you have to actually know how to practice. Like practice is the key. ఎవరిని అడిగినా ఇదే చెప్తారు, ప్రాక్టీస్ ఈజ్ ద కీ. ద మోర్ యూ recapitulate the things, the more you like revise the things, you remember it more. Maths, the more you practice, the less mistakes you do. Any subject is that matter of fact. The more you practice, the more you learn. So practice is the key. Revision is the key. So don't think that last 3 months నేను చదివి నేను మార్క్స్ తెచ్చుకుంటాను. It's very good if you have that attitude, but do that in a very careful and clear way so that you will not forget it. So that you will not forget it again. Next, this will improve your retention also. When you keep on practicing, when you keep on revising, it will go into subconscious mind. There is another technique for retention. This is a very, very interesting technique. Students who have a problem with a particular topic, you are reading it, if you are not able to remember it, ask your friends or your parents to read it out when you are in a sound sleep. మీరు మంచి నిద్రలో ఉన్నప్పుడు మీకు గుర్తులేని టాపిక్ ని ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళని చదివి వినిపించమనండి. దిస్ విల్ గో ఇంటూ యువర్ సబ్ కాన్షియస్ మెమరీ అండ్ యూ కెన్ యాక్చువల్లీ రిమెంబర్ ఇట్ వెన్ యూ రీడ్ ఇట్ అగైన్. This is a very interesting practice and it is a proven technique. So learn how to learn. So learn how to learn is like I had discussed some techniques with you. So find out techniques which are suiting you, which are suiting the subject, and then try to learn through those techniques, which will help you to increase your retention. And so the more you are like here, the goal is not sitting for 14 hours or 15 hours. Here the only goal is getting maximum benefits with lesser time. How to get maximum benefits with lesser time? Okay, so lesser time is you have to plan your thing, you have to make a timetable, you have to like implement the best techniques suiting for you or suiting for the subject, and you have to retain the information. And the most important key is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice is the key. So here comes the rules. Ippadaka we had spoken about what have to be done and what should not be done. So here are the golden rules for your good marks. These are the golden rules. I am damn sure if you are following these 10 rules, your grades will increase definitely, at least by like 10%. Like if you are scoring 50%, you'll get 60%. Or if you are scoring 60%, you can get 75 above if you follow all these rules. This is a damn sure technique. Okay. Sufficient sleep. 8 hours of sleep is necessary. If 8 to 6 hours of sleep is necessary. So this is the first thing. If you don't sleep, you will not be able to concentrate. If you don't sleep, you will not be able to think. If you don't sleep, you will not be able to do anything. You will have less energy. So try to sleep like in fixed time. Like 6 to 8 hours of sleep is very much required. Next is memory boosting food. Memory boosting food is like you have omega-3 fatty acids, just have almonds, have lot of vegetables, easy digestible food, have at least 3 liters of water a day. This will help you to improve your metabolism. If you have good protein intake, if you have sufficient uh, protein intake, then only you will be able to process the information. Why? 80% of our energy is used by brain. Whatever you're consuming, in that 80% of the information, 80% of the energy is going to brain. If you don't eat good, your brain is not getting good nutrients. If your brain is not getting good nutrients, you are not able to remember anything. So you have to have good food. Add nuts in your food, add vegetables in your food, add protein in your food, which will help you to increase the memory. Try not to eat hard diet after 7:30 at night. Try to eat lighter foods at night. That will help you to have a sound sleep also. Next is memory games. Try to make Sudoku, chess. Chess is a very interesting game which can balance your left brain and right brain. So try to play chess. That will actually improve your memory. That will actually balance both your brains. Next is mind maps, notes, and QEs. You know, good steady habits. We discussed physical exercise. Physical exercise is very important. Physical exercise is the key to have a healthy mind, because the hormones like dopamine, serotonin, all these hormones, we call it happiness hormones. Happiness hormones are produced when you are exercising. So try to exercise at least twice or thrice a week. Walking, shuttle, football, anything. Try to move, try to do exercise at least for 2 to 3 times a week. Actually, according to WHO, it is 45 minutes a day. As your students, it may not support you. So at least 3 days a week is very much required for your physical health and emotional well-being. It is proven that the students who are into physical activities or games have lesser stress levels and lesser anger outbursts compared to other students. So this is a proven fact. So try to actually play games regularly, so that will help you to reduce your stress levels, that will reduce your anxiety levels, that will improve lot of emotional well-being. How, ma'am? How can a game improve my well-being? I'll tell you. When you are in playing in a group game like football or a cricket or something, you are learning that losing is a simple part of life. You're learning how to coordinate. You're learning how to decrease your stress levels to achieve good score. All these things you are learning just by playing a game. So this is how the exercise is going to help you. This is very important to exercise, to learn, and that can be learned in a practical way when you are playing a game. So revision and recall, removal of distractions. Distractions these days, when it comes to distractions, the more is about the screen time. Reels or web series, online platforms, TikToks, all there are a lot of distractions these days. Try to like reduce your screen time. Screen time ఎంత తక్కువ మీరు చూస్తే అంత మెమరీ అనేది అంత ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందమ్మా. So distractions are not only online games, there are many other distractions these days, like emotional disturbances, fights, not able to express what you are actually thinking, always have a friend. Try to maintain good friendly relationships, like at least one or two friends, close friends, not online friends, offline friends with you. So that will help you to vent out your emotions. When you vent out your emotions, just speak out your heart. That will reduce your distractions. If you're not comfortable sharing with anyone, write them down on a paper and tear it off. That will reduce your stress. These days I have seen a lot of students coming to me with a problem, saying that I have no one to speak. You have no one to speak because you are not able to conveniently communicate. So try to improve your communication skills. If you try to speak with someone, they will speak with you. If you try to hide your emotions, no one will accept you. So try to open up. Matladandamma. The solution is speak. Until you speak with someone, you will not know what other people are thinking about you. So మీరు మాట్లాడితే వాళ్ళు ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అనేది మీకు తెలుస్తుంది. So that will reduce your distractions. A lot of people are speaking about online platforms like screen time and all. Not only screen time, if you don't speak with other people, if you keep on thinking that what they will think if I say this, if I say that, that is going to distract you for a longer period. So better you speak up. This will actually reduce your stress also. And reducing stress, exam stress, there are many tips I think you have learned through this platform. If you if you ask me, I'll give you only one tip. If you want to reduce exam stress, be confident. మీకు వచ్చినా రాకపోయినా, నాకు క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తాయో రావో, నేను ఎగ్జామ్లో సరిగ్గా చదవగలను, సరిగ్గా రాయలేను, ఏమొద్దు. గో కాన్ఫిడెంట్. మీరు ఎగ్జామ్లో మంచి స్కోర్ తెచ్చుకోకపోయినా, నథింగ్ యూజ్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాపెన్. Just keep that in your mind. I have seen people who had failed in their degree exams still secured good positions in their lives. Business cheyochu. Studies is not everything. Like failing one exam is not losing your studies. Now, recent when I was preparing for my UPSC, I have a friend in my batch who had failed in his BSc exams for 2 consecutive years. Today he is an IPS officer. So he is an IAS officer. So it is not how you failed. It is what you learned. If you are failing in your pre-boards, if you are failing in your unit exams, don't stress out. Learn why you are failing. ఓకే, నాకు ఇది గుర్తుండట్లేదు, లేకపోతే నాకు ఈ విషయంలో ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది. ట్రై టు ఇంప్రూవ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఏరియా, దెన్ యూ కెన్ get good marks. If you stress out, if you keep on crying, if you keep on thinking about it again and again, nothing is going to change. You have to identify where you are failing and then improve it. Just like this slide we have discussed, you have to monitor why you are failing or why you are not able to reproduce what you have learned, and then evaluate. You have to evaluate, then plan, and then you can return. This is as simple as that. Next is, finally, I would say that nothing is failure. Or failure is not a waste time. It is a learning. You can learn through your failures only. 1 year బాబు నడవడానికి ఎన్నిసార్లు కింద పడిపోతాడు? నేను పడిపోయాను కదా అని కూర్చుంటే నడవలేడుగా. This is also like that. If you are failing in an exam, it is okay. but it is not okay if you are not learning out of your mistakes. That is why you have so many pre-boards, so many exams in your school life to show you where you are failing or what is your gray area. And when you see the paper, you can know where what is your gray area, and then you have to prove it. Then definitely you'll score good marks. If you're not able to do that, then it is going to be very problematic later on. And so finally, I would say these words: there is nothing like good memory and poor memory. There is nothing like that. Everyone has the same memory. The only difference is how you are training it. Like the difference between a trained memory and a normal memory is like a stray dog and a pet dog. Like if you want me to give this example in a very clear manner, we see three types of dogs. One is stray dog, one is pet dog, and one is a trained police or a military dog. All three are dogs, but one is untamed, second one is tamed to an extent, third one is extremely tamed. Same way with our memory. How you are training your memory is going to help you, like how it is working with you. Any doubts? Any doubts till now?
No, ma'am, you can go ahead with the session. By the end of the session, we will do that question answer round.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the end of my session, ma'am. Thank you for being like patient to listen all this. Any
Thank you
doubts?
so much, ma'am. Yeah, I will request all the attendees to ask question. They can unmute yourself or they can put the question in the chat box. Ma'am, we will just wait for 2-3 minutes for the questions. Ma'am, there is one question.
Yes.
How to memorize numbers quickly?
How to memorize numbers quickly is connect the numbers to the nearest events, like any near one's birthdays or like any number important to you. Or there is another system called as peg system, where you are giving a synonym to, like, rhyming word to it, like one is bun, two 10 is gun, bun and gun is 10. Like that also you can remember using a peg system, or you can remember it by connecting it to the nearest event. This is how we can remember numbers. Or you can make flashcard of that particular event, and then you can see it continuously now and then you can remember the date. It can go into your subconscious memory.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering the question. I would request all the attendees to ask questions. They can unmute yourself or they can put the question in the chat box.
Any more questions?
No, ma'am, as of now, we do not have any questions. So I guess we can just end the session, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really very informative and valuable session. It was pleasure having you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So now I would like to conclude the session. Thank you so much, everyone. So, on behalf of talktocolleges.com, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all those who made KAB Education Summit a success. A special thank you to our director, sir, Mr. K. Venkatesh, sir, our speakers and panelists, P. Srinivas Rao, Dr. Hari Kumar, Dr. Shiva Shankar Mandal, Dr. Pavan Kumar, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar, Dr. Jayan Nambudiri, Mrs. Gayatri Vijay. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to the university experts from SRM University, Andhra Pradesh, Ganpat University, Gujarat, KR Mangalam University, Haryana, and Bird University of Design, Haryana, who took the time to help students explore more opportunities for their higher education. Your guidance has been invaluable in broadening their horizons. Thank you so much. I would also like to thanks to the participants for your engagement and enthusiasm throughout the event. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizer, IT, and support team for your hard work behind the scenes, as well as to our volunteers for your generous support. We hope you leave today with a new knowledge and inspiration to continue making a positive impact in the world of education. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you at future events. Have a great day ahead. It was pleasure having you all. Thank you so much.